So today we're looking at the biggest grip killer I have seen over my 25 odd years coaching experience. And not only are we going to talk about what the biggest grip killer is, we're going to talk about how you can use a process, pretty simple, to eliminate it for good. So we're going to talk about what the problem is and how to fix it quite simply, quite quickly. That means you're going to allow you to create more consistent ball contact, more power, better arm structure in your golf swing, and basically have a nicer looking golf swing. So everyone would want those things, I certainly do, so why not have a little listen to this tip. So the biggest grip killer is holding the club in the palm of the hand. So placing the club like this. And this is something I see all the time. Now what that causes is this wrist not to want to basically cock or set correctly. It creates a hinging action like this, which becomes quite easy to do when you're holding the club that way. But the cocking or radial motion that we see here I'm doing becomes very difficult. What tends to happen when you try and cock the wrist, you tend to work the elbow more. So the elbow starts to basically cock and hinge instead of the wrist. So that gives you the look at the top of your golf swing a bit like this. The bent left arm, so I know most of us want to get rid of that, and this kind of weak looking left hand. And the club sometimes then can move in the club, and what you'll do is you'll get a wear mark in your grip here. That comes from movement in the hand and also holding it in the wrong place. And it's that rubbing that causes that action, so slipping from the palm more into the fingers as you swing, or even just the hand coming off the club. So it's pretty difficult to get the club in the right place. And I'm going to show you now what I would call the game changer way of holding the golf club, the process. So we want to hold the club more in your fingers, just like I am here. So I'm going to go through that with you in a second. But initially, just go through this process. If we put the club on our shoulder like such, and we go and take our grip, we can't really grip it in our palm. That becomes very awkward. So you're going to grip it in your fingers. So basically gripping in our fingers like that and pulling it down is really what I want you to do. So quite simply, on the shoulder, how do my fingers then grip the club? Automatically to go this way and pull it down. That would be the process. What we're looking for is the club to run through the cradle of your hands. And if you cradle your hands like that, so it's a simple cradle, it wants to sit in those fingers like that. And this fatty part wants to sit on top. So if we look at where that club crosses, it crosses through my first finger, my lead finger on my lead hand. It crosses through the top joint in that to the bottom joint in my little finger. And then basically the thumb goes on top and points just to the side of the shaft like so. And if we have a good grip, we have a fairly straight line from the outside of the thumb to the end, the fatty part here in the lead hand. Again, doing this exercise, we don't have to think about that placement because that happens automatically. We'd also want a fairly short thumb, as I would call it. It's not massively long in relation to the lead finger there. If we've got it in the right place, we can definitely use this a bit like what I'd call a hammer action or an axe action, be able to cock the wrist up and down, and the elbow doesn't get too involved. So that's again a way of checking, a safety check to check that you're in the right position, and then the right hand goes on alongside. I said that palmy grip really stops us being able to utilize the power and get the cocking or hinging, as some people call it, to be in the right place to enable the club to hit down on the golf ball and to basically load the power, keep the power, and dump that power in the right place. So that all becomes part of that. So we want to make sure that grip doesn't change. So we can go up to the shoulder and back down, put it in the right place, and then feel like we then don't move the hand too much. And then from there we can play our best golf. So the grip, it's a huge factor in how we move naturally through the rest of the golf swing. Holding it correctly allows the rest of the golf swing to function correctly. If we hold it incorrectly, it creates so many issues. So holding it the right way creates natural freebies that allow you to play better, create more power, make that ball contact solid. So make sure you're not holding in the palm and hold it more in your fingers, and you'll get more success with your golf.